Good morning, everyone. Here I am again for another video. I know I've had quite an uploading explosion, but as I've said before, it's my days off, so I have time to do this. I don't have time when I'm at work. So the first thing I want to get to is my blog. I have a WordPress blog. It's aywob.wordpress.com, and there I am keeping track of books that I've read, different sort of experiences that I've had during the week, and right now something that I'm doing is the 30-day book challenge, which is on my friend Jess's blog, and I'll link down in the comment or in the about below. But I got it off of her blog, who got it off someone else's blog, and I'll link everything below. But basically, I just wanted to share with you the books that I have, that I've talked about so far in the 30-day book challenge. And so basically, you're given one challenge every day for 30 days, and it's asking you different questions, and you have to come up with a book that answers the question. So I'll go ahead and start with day one. Day one asks, what book would you want to live in? And most people, I think, would say Harry Potter, but for me, I would say The Chronicles of Narnia. I love this series. I talked about it a little bit in the very first video that I did. The Chronicles of Narnia was, for me, the first series that I ever actually really geeked out over. I got the books back to back to back to back. And it all started with my 4th grade teacher, who read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe to us out loud. And at that point, I had to go and get the books. And I think this also started my obsession with reading books in order. And so I went and I got The Magician's Nephew, and I read them in order after that. And I just love them. I absolutely bawled when I finished reading the last battle. I mean, these books just mean so much to me, and I want to live in Narnia. I want to be friends with Mr. Tumnus. I want to see the Dryads and the Naiads and sail into the ocean and go to Aslan's Land. Oh my god, I love these books. So don't worry, I'll mention Harry Potter later, but for the first challenge, The Chronicles of Narnia is definitely the books that I would want to live in. So then day 2 is a book that I've reread over and over again, and that would have to be Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Every time I read this book, something new pops out to me. I don't know. This most recent time, I was reading the part where Jane is sick at Netherfield, and Elizabeth is staying there to sort of look after her. And it occurred to me in a scene in that section that Elizabeth is absolutely determined, because she doesn't like Mr. Darcy, she is absolutely determined to not agree with him. So anytime that she seems to be agreeing with him, or she feels that she's agreeing with him, she tries to contradict herself. And there are a couple of times where she could be cruel a couple of times in this book to Mr. Darcy, but she knows right from wrong, and she knows where to draw the line, and she stops. So I love the characters, I love the writing, I love the story. It's really something I think that we can all relate to. I think that we all know someone like Elizabeth. I think we all know someone like Lydia and Jane and Charlotte Lucas. And so I find that it's a book that's really meaningful today, even though at the time it was written, it was probably considered what we would think of as chick lit. But I still love it, and I'm actually getting ready to reread it again. So that is my answer for day 2. And then day 3 asks, what is your favorite series? And of course, I have to say Harry Potter. I mean, come on. So I love the Harry Potter series. The first book I got as a present during the holiday season, and I think it was supposed to be a surprise, but I was so excited by the books that my dad had in his hands for me that I was like, oh, and that one, and that one, and that one. And there was Harry Potter. And so God, midnight releases, getting them the day they came out, that's kind of me really freaking out when it took 2.5 years or 1.5 years for the book to come out. I almost didn't read the 7th book. I know that's horrible, but it came out, and I just was like, I can't deal with this. This is too emotionally, too much feels. And so then my sister read it, and I'm the kind of person that I really don't care if you tell me how a book ends, because to me, the getting there is what is the most fun. So the getting there is what is interesting to me. And of course, everyone knows Harry's going to defeat Voldemort. I mean, duh. So she told me about it, and that's when I was like, okay, I've just got to read this book. And I did. Oh, God. Okay, so I've only read the 7th Harry Potter book. I've only read it twice. And the first time I read it, and then I went back and I read all the books all the way through. And I just can't go back now. I don't know. But anyway, Harry Potter is by far my favorite books, my favorite series of books. There have been others that I really loved, but just none takes the place of Harry Potter. So then, day 4, which was yesterday, and I need to write about this because I was a very bad blogger and I just forgot. So day 4 asks, what is the worst book to film adaptation that you have seen? And I haven't seen this film, but I have seen the trailer for it, which is why I haven't seen this film. And this film is Beastly by Alex Flynn. Now, I have this thing about Beauty and the Beast. It's my very favorite fairy tale. I love the Disney movie, so I tend to pretty much buy any kind of Beauty and the Beast adaptation, novelization, that's out there. And I really liked the idea of Beastly because it's from the Beast's point of view. It's from the Beast's perspective, and we don't get that. Robin McKinley wrote a couple of Beauty and the Beast adaptations, but they were both from Beauty's perspective. So I really like that, the aspect of Beastly, just for that reason. And then, of course, it's not, set in the Middle Ages. It's not in this fantastic sort of magical rural landscape. It's New York, present day, and this kid is cursed. And so I liked Beastly. I liked the book. I thought it did a really neat job of being a YA novel and also being a Beauty and the Beast adaptation. When I saw the trailer for Beastly, oh my God, I was so disappointed. The thing of it is, like, first of all, Vanessa Hudgens, I think, is the girl who I forget her name, but she is the Belle, the beauty character. And in the book, I believe she has red hair. I'm going to double check these facts, but I'm like 98% sure that she has red hair. Vanessa Hudgens doesn't have red hair. And then I also really disliked the whole concept of when the Beast character turns into the Beast character in the movie. In the book, it's kind of, when I was reading it, I sort of imagined like this werewolf character. It's not like the author leaves it up to you to decide how he looks. She's very specific in his appearance. And the way that she described him in the book and the way that he turns into a beast in the movie is like, what? I mean, the whole point of the curse, this guy being cursed, is that he was vain and shallow and just a snotty little kid, and he turns into a beast character, and it makes him a better person. But the movie gave him, like, he turned into this bald guy with tattoos, but he was still pretty sexy looking, and I was like, great, so you're just pretty much giving it us permission to, I don't know, I just didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. I thought that based on what I saw in the trailer, it took away from the story, and that's how I feel about that. So, day 5 is today, and the challenge is name a book that makes you happy. And for me, it would have to be The Never-Ending Story by Michael Ende. I think a lot of us have seen the movie, and the movie is good, but the thing to me that I love about The Never-Ending Story is that it takes the first movie, and then there's also The Never-Ending Story 2, and it takes the second movie, and the first 2 movies are based on this book. The second movie really completely departs from the novel a couple of times, and but I think that the themes are still there. But I love this book. The storyline is amazing, and I think that it's every book lover's dream to get so lost in a story, to actually enter the world of the book that you're reading. I love it, and it's full of so much magic and so much imagination, and it's just every kid's dream, I think, if you love to read. The story is about Bastian, who's kind of an awkward kid. He just lost his mom. He's not the brightest the brightest student. He's not the most attractive, and he escapes. He's being chased by bullies, and he hides in a bookstore. And in the bookstore, he finds this book, The Never-Ending Story. And basically, the novel takes place over the course of a day, over the course of Bastian reading this book, cover to cover, hiding in the attic of his school. And I just loved it so much. I mean, you're there with Bastian. It's just a wonderful story about getting lost in a book and finding courage within yourself, and moving to knowing who you are, and it's just really, really lovely. And so that catches me up on the 30-day book challenge, and I hope that you'll read the little blurbs I have on my blog. I'm going to go now and write up day 4 and day 5. I hope that you follow me for day 6, and I'm sure I'll see you sometime later today. Bye!